Agree with Alan Greenspan, we ought to just eliminate the debt ceiling. Oh, absolutely, we do.
The ability of almost every working American to access more credit than they should have been able to masked the underlying fact that lower and middle class incomes were not rising.
That's not a tenable strategy. Isn't now the time to eliminate it? Oh, we've been a long time ago.
Let's put aside terrorism. Let's talk only about our own homegrown animals that are patrolling America right now. So it goes down to the simplest thing. Be prepared, be vigilant.
Another 4 hours up, another 4 hours down. Right, the head up I-95. Watching the world fly by at 80 miles an hour. It's a chunk of my life. Right? There's a chunk of my life left out there. There's a path, footprints almost, that you could follow every so often, many times a year. Right? This trek, 4 hours up, 4 hours down. 4 hours up to catch up, 4 hours back down to reflect on what exactly the hell just happened. And that's life, right? That's watching life from a distance. That's living life intimately. Watching the struggle on the people's faces that you love, right? I met old friends up there in the Philadelphia area. I met new friends. And what I look for in people, it's all the same. What I look for in people. I look for the struggle. In the eyes, in the furrowed brow, in the cheeks, in the crow's feet around the eyes, in the clenching of the fists, in the unease, the general unease. In the shaking, in this tapping of the feet and fingers, I see the struggle. I see what makes great people. And then you see the relaxed man, right, sitting, calm, unaffected. I fear him. I'm going to be honest with you. I fear him and I fear for him. Because I think life is about jittery fingers and creased brows and anger and clenching teeth. I think that's the path to a great life. I think the idea that we must be relaxed at all times, calm down, take a deep breath, chill out. You need to relax. You're too stressed out. I don't know if I buy into that, man. I'm just talking about what I've seen through life. What I've seen through life, what I've seen work, what I've seen not work. And I can tell you that the relaxed and laid-back mindset, it looks good from the outside. And maybe it feels good too. But when you look at longevity, more importantly, when you look at happiness, a lot of times those people who've struggled successfully are the ones who make it, the ones who have the real life that's worth talking about, the life that gets penned into the pages of books. Right? It's the struggle, the many failures. You could look at it this way. Here's an interesting way to look at it. You see the laid-back guy. You can look at the two behaviors as you would an EKG, in other words. Right? The person who dares rise to great heights can fall as well, to greater depths, than the person who kind of stays right in the center. And when you think about an EKG, the way the EKG works is it usually favors the person who has the ups and downs. Right? The person who flatlines, it's never a good thing. And I see it that way. I do. I see it that way ever more lately. Ever more as I watch. I watch the people who are making it. I watch the husbands and the wives. You watch them from a distance. You watch them up close. You watch them. You watch your own marriage. Right? And you see the husbands and wives, the ones that are labeled, we never fight. Yeah, we never fight about anything. We have never had a fight. I see those couples and I look at them and I think, all right, he's having sex with your sister. It's the only way we can talk about this thing. There's something going on. Where's the struggle? Where's the struggle? When I see the husband and wife who are talking and they look like they have the hatred in their eyes and they're smiling through their teeth and they kiss each other on the cheek or on the lips after they have their little conversation, and you can see that there's just as much hate as there is love. And I see longevity. I see a relationship that's going to go the distance. Why? Because love is not magic all the time. Love and marriage in particular is not a bed of roses 24/7. Particularly when you're in the storm that I'm in, and some of the people that I know. It is little more than a balancing act. And you can be little more than a great partner. A great partner in the business of raising children, business of accruing wealth, if you will. Yes, it's legal to accrue wealth. And whether you believe it or not, and no matter how terrifying it may sound to some of you people out there who are, you know the type. That's what you're doing in a marriage. Now, of course, when you're in the thick of it, when you're raising the children, you're doing this and you're doing that, you have the vacations, you have the nights, you have the once in a while moments when you get to go back out with that woman you love. And you get to go have a good time with her, and you get to remember, oh, right. This is why I do this. This is why I do this. Right? It's not all about just getting the kids here and there and raising them right and making sure they understand things. No. It's very clear why I do this now. I remember. But for the most part, you're in the fog. You're in the haze of child rearing, career building, business build, whatever it is you're doing. And if you feel overwhelmed in that, right? Men and women. You feel overwhelmed in that, just think about the latter, right? What's the latter option? What is the alternate? The alternate is you lay around and you do nothing, and you have no responsibilities. And you find yourself some years down the road wanting to cut your penis off and become a woman. Because when you don't have the struggle, you don't have the satisfaction. It's very simple. I can break it down to you very simply. When I was a young man, I started working very young. I was dating a girl who was working at a diner. And she had money and I had none. And she said I should work. She said that I should work there. I should wash dishes where she works. And I said, you know what? Hey, why not? Let's do it. And I went in there and I started working. And the moment you begin to work, you start to appreciate one thing more than ever. More than anything else in life, really. It's the days that you don't have work. They're the greatest. I dream about it still. I dream about it to this day, that overwhelming feeling when you would come to the realization that tomorrow I'm off. I'm off tomorrow. I don't have school. I don't have work. Oh. And when I look at these unfulfilled people, that's what I see. I see people who don't have the time to appreciate the struggle because they have created a life usually made up of excuses and reasons why they cannot, why there's a ceiling over their head. I can't do this because of this. These people hold me back. This holds me back. I got a family. I got a sick mom, whatever it is. And that's the misery, man. The misery lies in those pockets. It really does lie deep in those pockets. I'm talking about life on the I Am Liberty show. Okay, I don't know who's shooting who. I don't know who's wiretapping who. I don't know what Comey said or didn't said. I don't even care. It's 11:14 on a Sunday night. I've been driving for 3.5 hours. Right? I'm in the thick of life right now. Don't you get it? I've got 2 kids behind me, sound asleep. Sound asleep children. I'm bearing down on home. My wife's not there. She passed me on the highway, headed on business. And this is life, man. This is what it is. The other incredible thing is, And we're just going to wax, okay? That's what we're going to do throughout this drive. We're going to wax. It might not cover anything that interests you at all. And I don't give a damn. I could care less. I could care less because there's so many podcasts out there that you don't have to listen to this if you don't like it. If you don't like what I'm talking about, you can go listen to the Ed, and Eddie podcast. I don't know. You can go listen to Jim Norton talk about transvestites, whatever you want to do. I'm going to talk to you about reality and about life in general. Talk to you about family. Talk to you about marriage and children. Why? Because you can't get it anywhere else. Nowhere else on the internet is there a guy talking about the wonders of marriage. Right? Why? Because it doesn't get views. Now, if you talk about how to save a marriage, how to cheat on your wife without getting caught, well, then you get views. But there's one thing you have to understand when you come to listen to the I Am Liberty show. I don't care about views. You know? I'm not out to get a mansion. I'm not out to drive a Hummer. Okay? I've got everything I need and want already. Got it. All the rest is just hard work and creation. And whether there's 3 people who buy it or 3 million, I'm still going to create. You know, you find out who you are, and that's the end of it. You just got to deal with it and live with it. What your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. But I want to tell you something else about life that I've learned through observation. And it's a harrowing admission that might scare you to death. And it puts expectations on you as a person, right? And it's a frightening part of reality, especially in today's world. But the truth about life is, you have to live it right the whole time. It's contrary to popular belief, I understand that. But in life, you have to live it right. The whole life. Your whole life. There's no quota to be made. You know, you can't walk right and upright morally and do the right thing for until a certain point in your life and then shove off, right, and go off the beaten path. You can't do it. In order to do this thing right, you have to live right your whole life. Now, the reason that sounds so crazy and controversial is because we all love the story of the guy who fell off and got back on and rode to new heights. We love that, right? Everybody seems to love that story lately, right? The rapist who got back to... We all love the downtrodden man, right? Who burnt the houses down and killed the people in the homes and did his time and came out from prison, and then he decided he was going to be a priest. I'm not a fan of that guy. You know why? Because he's got enough fans. Here's the guy I'm a fan of. I'm going to tell you right now. Just like I just got done telling you. I'm a fan of the guy who wakes up every day and does it right. No questions asked. You know, there's no temptation. Well, there's always temptation, but he doesn't give in to temptation. Right? He doesn't decide that today he's going to go cheat on his wife and ruin his marriage. He doesn't decide that today he's going to get hammered in the middle of the day and run over some child. No, wake up, do the work. Get the kids, play with them. Eat a good healthy meal, work out. Kiss the wife, give her your attention. Pay the bills, right? Stamp the check, send them. Maybe do a little something on the side to keep yourself happy. You know, a little video game, a little golf, a little whatever it is. And you do that your whole life. No questions asked. Whatever else you can fit in, great. People are obsessed with this guy. You know, they're obsessed with this guy. And I say this guy, not anyone in particular. I'm just talking about this guy who just barely makes it. And gets back on the horse, they call it. He burns the stable down, kills all the horses but one, but then he gets back on the horse and rides it into the sunlight as a hero. Meanwhile, the guy who gets up every day and does the right thing, he's just a passing character in the movie. He's a passing character in the story. right? And you could say maybe that's bad of society, maybe it's not. I don't know. I have no idea. But I can tell you that's the guy that I like, right? The guy that I like is the guy that gets up and doesn't make excuses. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't fall apart. He gets up and does what he has to do. That's it. How exciting. Because in the end, the reason I tell you this is because in the end, that's what you have to do. That's what life is. You know, for every Michael Vick story, right, where a monster of a man becomes a hero, gets book deals, gets quarterback deals, yada, yada, yada. The great comeback stories, right? For every one of those, how many people make one mistake and pay for it forever? It only takes one. And you're going to make some. There's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. Every day you have to wake up and you have to do it right. And you have to do it right from the time you're born to the time you're dead. There are no options. There are no other options. Don't you get it? Now, that's not to say that you will do it right. You're going to make mistakes. But you have to get up with the intent that I'm going to do it right today. I'm going to do everything in my power to be the best at work, at home. And you have to come to the realization, like I always tell you, that there is no reward for you. There is no reward. You're living the reward. And we have to get our heads wrapped around that too. I find myself a lot of times, guys, it's tough, but I find myself a lot of times in the midst of it, in the midst of the fire. Let me put the coat on, I get the bottle ready, or change a diaper, but get him, put your pants on the right way, put the right pants on the right way. And you're in this thing, you're in this haze of get the kid ready, get him out, and go to this, and get the dinner on, sweep the floor, I don't know what happened here, let's pick these toys up, Carter, come help me with that. And you find yourself, at least I do, sitting down on the couch, looking at them and going, oh my God, I blew a whole day. This is it. This is the pinnacle right here. You know, it doesn't take a genius detective to figure these life lessons out. You know what I mean? I'm no great philosopher. Sorry. A little light on sleep. I'm no great philosopher because I figured these things. I just look at older people. What do older people love? What do they always talk? Oh, I love when the kids come by. We talk about our old times. It's the greatest days of their life. Greatest days of their lives raising children. They don't get it until they ran them out of the house, right? Until they fight them enough that they run them out of the house. You got to stop and enjoy it, man. You got to enjoy the shit that sucks. You got to enjoy it. The baby's crying. He won't stop crying. He's been crying for an hour. I can't find the pacifier. I don't know where I put it. You got to stop and enjoy it. You got to say, look at this shit. Look what I have here. Look at the magic that I have here. This little creature that worships me like God himself. Carry him here, carry him. He's helpless. He's helpless, and I alone have the power to make him a great man. You know, with me, it's between me and the wife. You know, everybody else will have a little input, but really, what does it come down? It comes down to the parents. And it's a magical time that even I find myself, and I'm a pretty introspective guy, I find myself blowing it. I find myself at 6 o'clock at night with 2 tired children on the couch going, what the hell just happened? What did we just do? What did we just go through? I don't even remember it. I can't remember what this one was doing or that one was. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened. And then you have those moments where you watch it all happen. And they're powerful. You know, that's where the powerful thing is. You sit there and you watch them. You watch the information go into his head. You watch him react. You watch your kids and their siblings. You watch them hug each other, eat together, share food. You know what I mean? You watch these things happen. You realize, this is it, baby. This is it. I'm in it right now. Life's getting no better than this. It's never getting better than this. I'm going to spend my golden years daydreaming about these moments. Right? This is what it is. How do I imprint enough of this in my mind? Find out life is very hard. Find out life is very hard, and as a parent, you have to give up a lot, no matter what the situation is. And you have to be good your whole life. Mark my words. Right? It's a scary thing that you would never hear on an actual television show or an actual radio show, because the moniker these days is, you made a mistake. What's the big deal? You get back on the horse, ride. But the truth of the matter is, man, you got to be good every day. You got to do your best every day. You got to do it every day. Every day. You don't stop when the kids move out. No. You don't push mom aside when the kids move out and say, oh, well, I'm done with her. I get a kick out of that, right? You have these delusional men in the world. Well, once she's 18, I'm going to ditch this one. You know, I'm only with the mom until they turn 18. Once they're out of the house. Oh, really? How's Christmas going to be? What do you... Do you expect them to bring the children around so they can meet Sally and you stare across the room at mommy who looks like she's ready to choke somebody to death? No, you made a vow to the woman. Hopefully. And, you keep that vow. That's what you do. That's what you do. You know, there is none of this pre-planning of the ending marriages. These people are miserable. It all depends on what you want. Do you want to find the true satisfaction in life? If you do, you have to work. You have to struggle. You have to do it right every day. You have to be honest and follow through. That's it. There's no way around it. There's no cheating it. There's no cheating the success that comes from it. There's none of it. None of it is. You can't cheat it. And when I see these crazy people doing crazy things, looking for satisfaction, looking for self-worth, I see it. I see it more clear and more honest than ever. It's what it is. I'm looking for happiness in something, but I'm not doing the things that make me happy. To make all people happy.